Welcome back to PSC's Tech Bytes. Today I want to talk with you about the Approvals app that we have available in Microsoft Teams. It is a Teams personal app which is internally based on Microsoft Forms that we can use to create approvals and processes within the context of Microsoft Teams. We can customize the Approvals app, creating custom templates for approvals and processes. And we can easily use and integrate the Approvals app within a chat or a channel or with external applications like Power Automate or even third-party apps like DocuSign and Adobe Sign. So let me move to the demo environment. Let me show you how to play with approvals in Microsoft Teams. Here we are in the Microsoft Teams client, and on the left side I have the Approvals app icon that I can click to activate the Approvals Teams personal app. In this app you can find the received approvals requests as well as the sent ones that I sent to someone else. If you don't find this approvals icon, you can click on the three dots and search for it and eventually pin it on the left. From this app, you can submit a new approval request, for example. So you click on New Approval Request, you will have to select the template of the approval that you want to submit. For example, I want to submit a purchase request to the administration of my company, so I will have to provide a name. I want a new car. The name of the approvers will be listed here, can be Jessica, for example, as well as my colleague Guido. And if we will have multiple approvers, we can select if we want to have a response from all of them or just one of them. It will be a request for a tangible product description, a new car, supplier, car supplier, or whatever it will be, and price 1,000 euros. I can send my request to purchase a new car, and this will be sent to my colleagues for approval, and I will find this approval in the list of sent requests. Now, what is really interesting, I want a new car here, you can see, sent to Guido and Jessica. What is really interesting here is that you can eventually manage your own custom approval or process templates by clicking on the Create or Manage Templates right here. If you click on it, you can create a new template by clicking on this button. You can start from scratch, or you can select an already existing base template to start from. Let's say that I want to create it from scratch. You can select if you want to make your template available organization-wide, meaning that in the whole organization, and you can do that only if you are an administrator, but in the whole organization your template will be available, or for specific people, or for a specific target team. If I select the organization-wide, and this is the first time that I do that, a specific and dedicated team will be created in my Teams infrastructure. And I will need to keep into account that I shouldn't delete that team, otherwise I will lose all of the tenant-wide information for the approvals templates. Let me click on org-wide. I have to provide a name for my template, my custom approval template. This will be filed in any specific category based on my choice, which can be finance, for example, and this is the description of my template. By clicking on Next, you can choose the fields that will make up your approval form. As you can see, you simply click on New Field, you choose the type of field, which can be text, the subject of the request, could be the description. And as you can see, and you can easily recognize, this is the UI of Microsoft Forms, because as I told you, approvals is under the cover based on Microsoft Forms. I can add another field, which can still be a field of type text, but this time I want to have a restriction and I want it to be a number. So the quantity of what I'm requesting, just to make an example. And then eventually I want to make a choice, which can be color or whatever you like. This is just for the sake of making an example, okay? So let's say that I'm happy with what I did. So I can click on Next, and I can define if I want to have an attachment as a required field for my request, and I want to define who the approver will be. It can be an approver which will be selected by the user who will create the request, or can be a specified approver based on a list of people, or can be the direct manager of the person who is submitting the request, and eventually I can have a fallback just in case of need. Right now I'm fine with the let requester enter. I can provide custom responses. By default, the responses will be approve or reject, but I can say that I want to have custom responses, which is yes, of course, or no, no, in case I don't want to do that. And I can have a preview of my form, and once I'm happy with that, I can publish it. By doing that, I will be able, as an end user in the Approvals app, to create a new approval request. But also from a chat, for example, I can start by clicking on this button, Approvals, right here, to start a new approval request right here, and I can find my custom approval template here. And as you can see, I can fill the fields of my approval. So this is one approval instance, just for the sake of providing something. The approver could be my colleague Guido, or I can be the approver as well, just to speed up the process. I can require all of the responses or just one. I can provide a subject, which will be something to approve, the quantity, which has to be a number, and the color, which can be white or red, let's say red. I will have to provide the mandatory attachment. So let me get in my documents a sample document file. And once I've done that and my file is uploaded, I can send my approval request. As you can see, now we have in this chat an approval request, and because I selected myself as one of the approver, I get a notification from Teams. So based on the outcomes that I configure, I can say yes, of course, or no, no. And for example, I can say no, no, just for the sake of providing a response. And the same can be done by the other target. We can also do the same thing in Teams within a channel. We can create a conversation, and again, by clicking on the Approvals app right here, we can do the same, and we can target the channel instead of a specific chat. And as I told you before, in the Approvals app, I can always see the received approvals, and this is the one that I just sent to myself, as well as the sent approvals, where I can see the one that I sent before with the status. As you can also see, there is plenty of items right here, because all of the items that we see here are also coming out from Power Automate. So all of the approval tasks that I create in the flows defined in Power Automate will be available in the Approvals personal app as well. And you can also rely, if you have an account and a license, to Adobe Sign or DocuSign for a signature in the approvals that you want to submit. Like always, thank you for watching this video. I hope you found it interesting, and I'm really looking forward to seeing you next week. And remember, subscribe to the channel. Thank you.